I think like in convenience stores. Like
Also, right now we just bought bread. It's very, very cheap.
So expensive is fruit, like melon or something.
All
Don't
right.
buy fruit or no melons.
But I would say accommodation and overnight is and food is cheaper. Yeah.
Hello everyone, this is Kris. Do you think the prices in Korea are expensive compared to other countries? And also, what were the cheap and expensive things during your stay in Korea? Let's ask the foreigners traveling in South Korea and see what kind of answers we can get. Where are you from and how long have you guys been in Korea?
I come from France and I've been here for 1 week.
French and staying here in Korea for 5 days. It's my third time in Korea.
I'm from Amsterdam and I've been in Korea for about 2 months now.
We're from Germany and we've been in Korea about
Third week.
yeah.
Oh, it's your third week. Can I ask what you do in Korea or maybe in Netherlands?
I'm a software engineer and I'm working here for a few months because we work together with a Korean company.
I work on cinema.
We just finished high school.
High school.
Yeah.
All right. So are you guys going to college now?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm living in Germany. I'm working for a Belgian firm and I'm a finance controller.
Do you think the Korean prices are cheap or expensive?
Very cheap. The food is low.
Okay.
The bus, the transportation.
Okay.
So compared to Amsterdam, everything is fairly cheap. Especially restaurants are quite cheap, but things in the supermarket are relatively expensive. Although it depends on what kind of products I buy. If I try to buy the European stuff, it's going to be super expensive, but if I just buy the local things, it's okay.
We think it's more on the cheap side, especially compared to Germany.
Okay.
The prices are way higher.
In Germany?
yeah.
Comparing food prices, I think, I don't know, maybe because of the Korean won.
Okay.
I think right now it's a good time to travel.
Okay.
Because food-wise, I think in Korea it's a lot cheaper.
I'd say most of the time it's about the same price as Europe, but I would say accommodation and overnight is and food is cheaper. Yeah.
Can you tell me some of the things that you found very expensive compared to your country, or maybe something very cheap?
Very cheap. The food.
The food?
Yes.
I think like in convenience stores, sometimes
Yes.
we go
Yeah.
inside.
Okay.
But we're
convenient.
like,
Also, right now we just bought bread. It's
Okay.
very, very cheap.
All right. And back in Germany, how would you compare it? How much would a bread be?
Or, I don't know, like €5 maybe?
5
And
euros.
here
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know, 2001. It's a
really
lot.
Oh,
that's
wow.
very, like especially like the big breads, they cost like
Oh,
a lot
okay.
of money.
All right.
Cheap stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cheap. The one that stands out for me is just going out for food is relatively cheap compared
Okay.
to many other things. Yeah,
Okay,
because that would be
alright.
super expensive in Amsterdam.
And expensive. Nothing.
Nothing.
Here is very cheap than the France.
Okay. So you think most of the things are cheaper
Yes.
than France?
Yes.
So expensive is fruit, like melon or something. 'Cause I
Melons.
think they don't really produce it here. I think some animal products, maybe beef or eggs, and it's something if you want to make a lasagna, that's going to be quite expensive.
Oh.
And there's no cheese, so in the Netherlands we have a lot of cheese.
How much did you guys spend on one day for your food and transportation and all that stuff?
For example, like transportation is also very cheap. Like I think it's just like
Very cheap.
1,700 wons. Like we're always impressed.
Really?
Yeah, because
Okay.
like also when we take like the subway or whatever in Germany,
How much would it be in Germany?
Depends where you live.
Uh-huh.
So we live near a bigger city in
Okay.
Germany. But it's still like
like
10
yeah.
euros, I
Yeah.
think.
10 euros
Yeah.
for one ride?
For one ride, like
Wow.
you can buy like a ticket for the whole day, and there's
Yeah,
like
it's like 20.
yeah,
20?
yeah, it's
20 euros.
really
Wow,
expensive.
that
so
is really
it's-
expensive.
Yeah, so it's very easy to go like with the transportation here because it's
Yeah.
just so cheap, so you can use it every
Okay.
day. In a whole day, I think like with food, if you eat in restaurants,
Okay.
it does get a little bit more expensive. But I mean,
Right,
for
right.
example, like street food or whatever is really cheap. So I don't know. I think in like a cheaper day, maybe like 20,000,
20,000.
15,000, 15,000. In an
Yeah.
expensive day,
We did spend a lot more.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
been
Yeah.
to expensive restaurants, and then it's like I don't know, 50,000 or something.
Oh.
I
Okay.
think the big difference is that in Germany, people do not eat out as lot as here. So we
okay,
buy
okay.
our groceries in like in shops.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Just like
and
a
just
big
cook.
amount. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like
cook at home.
That's
Yeah, accommodation. I've got here an hotel room, and I pay around about 90 euros for the taxi. Taxi in the city is quite cheap. When I go to the airport, it's quite expensive.
All
yeah.
right. But do you think still compared to France, Korea is cheaper?
Taxi, it's about the same, but yeah, it depends on the city in France because we got a very expensive city and a cheap city. So
Okay,
it depends.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in average?
It's about the same.
Oh,
I
about
would
the
say.
same.
In food, 151.
Wow. For one day.
Yes.
So 15000.
Yes.
And how about like transportation? Do you take any buses or subways?
The subway and I don't know. It depends of the day, but 5000.
5,000?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that's cheap compared to France? The food and the transportation?
Yes. In French, it is €9.
Per day?
Yes.
Okay.
And in the restaurant, this is €15 for a plate.
Yeah, probably like 30,000 or something.
And about transportation? Do you have a car or do you take public transportation?
I just take a taxi about once a week to go to the Korean office. Taxis are kind of cheap compared to Amsterdam.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How much would it be in average for if you get a taxi ride in Amsterdam?
Oh, it depends how far you go, but like even just having a very short ride would be like 15 euros or something, whereas
15 euros.
that would be quite a long trip here.
Considering all of the things that you've said so far, do you think it's still worth it to travel Korea financially or economically?
Yeah, I think like
Yeah.
my friend also said, it's like, especially in these times, like the prices are very good. Near our Airbnb, there's a street stand where a woman like sells, I think it's called hot dog here.
Oh yeah, hot
And
dog,
it's
hot
just
dog,
like
yeah.
Very
1,000,
cheap, yeah.
like 1,001,
Right,
and I'm
right.
always surprised. It's like a little treat you just get.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it depends on how much money you have, obviously. But it's cheaper to go to Southeast Asia. But if you get good value here for depending on what you buy, don't buy fruit or no melons.
no melons.
No
and no
melons.
fruit.
Finally, yes,
Okay,
the culture, the people, all are amazing.
And the prices, you think it was
Yes.
really good?
Yes, better than
Okay.
France.
And have you ever traveled any other countries?
Yes, in Japan, U.S.A.,
Okay.
Scotland,
Okay.
a lot of countries.
And visit Korea.
It's always on a visiting worth.
All right.
It's always nice food, and during the night there is a lot of party, and you can make party till late in the night, and after you can have a dinner in some restaurants. I mean, in Europe, the restaurant close at 11 or 11 or
Okay.
12, and here you find overnight always something to do. That's
Okay,
great, and
alright.
people are very nice and very polite.
You said about like drinking compared to France. Do you think Korea is cheaper?
In comparison to Paris, yes.
Oh.
And in comparison to other cities in France, yeah, I think it's about the same price.